Hi, Kaylin.
Hi, Gia.
I am going through the catalog again.
Oh.
I love a good Christmas catalog.
Me too.
There's so many fun gifts in here because I'm thinking, oh, I know someone who would like this, and I know someone who would like that. If you haven't come in, if you didn't get your catalog, it's okay. We have them at the store for you.
Absolutely.
Come in and see the catalog. If you got yours in the mail, then wonderful. We still want you to come and shop with us. This is the week of, I saw my neighbor across the street has this little thing in their front yard that has a countdown to how many days there are.
Yes.
And it said there was like, I think it's 29 days.
Oh my gosh.
Or 28, I can't remember now, but it was like,
Small number.
oh.
Yeah,
this
when
is
they first put it
bad.
up, it was like 45.
I know, and this is bad because I haven't really started my Christmas shopping.
No, me neither.
Which is kind of typical for me, but it's like, oh, yeah. If we get into the if it starts with a 1, I'm in trouble. Like 10 days, 18 days,
Oh.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So time to come shopping.
Yes.
We have all sorts of fun things we want to show you about today. Dee is going to be doing a presentation with us today. She came up with this really fun idea, and then I helped her figure out how to turn it into something new and different that we've never even thought about making. So we can't wait to show you this Letters to Santa project that we've made. But come see us at the store. It is Thanksgiving week. We have all sorts of fun things going on. So let's go show you our project, and then we'll come back and talk about a couple other things, because not only is it Thanksgiving week, but it also means it's Black Friday week.
That's right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, Dee, so I'm really excited for you to explain where you got this fun idea, and you brought it to me, and we brainstormed and came up with a really unique, new fun thing to make.
Yes, we did.
Okay, so what was your inspiration?
Christmas time, just wanted to do something fun, something different.
Okay, and what did you see that sparked your interest?
I don't know, I just wanted to get into IQ Designer and create an applique.
And appliques are really easy to make in IQ Designer.
They are.
And I don't think people realize that that really is a great tool that you have at your fingertips.
You do.
So that being said, why don't we go ahead and show them what it is we're going to be demonstrating, and then we'll walk them back through it. So go ahead and grab that item there.
Okay, so here we go. This is
Ta-da!
what we have done.
Isn't it adorable?
Yes.
So this is a fun little Letters to Santa. It is actually a garden flag. Can you grab that garden flag
Yes.
package right there? This is from OESD, and we have made other garden flags. And if I'm not mistaken, aren't there 2 in the package?
There's 2 in a package.
And so if you show that picture right there at the very bottom of it, you can see how it's open right there. Now you can sew them together. And so when she was telling me that she wanted to make this garden flag, I was like, well, okay, but we've done garden flags before. What else could we do? And I had this crazy idea that it would be a fun thing to do a Letters to Santa, because basically what she's on, put your fingers in that little slot up there at the top, not that one, the like where it would hang on the garden flag thing.
Oh, yes, right here.
So that's where it would hang on your little garden
Yep,
flag
right here.
stand thing. And then I encouraged her to not only create this wonderful applique on here, but to embellish it a little bit more. So she added the ruffle, and you can see, I'm going to get closer here.
Yes.
You can see all of the fun applaud stitching
Yes.
on there with a beautiful thread. And she did some fun lettering on it. And I think we went into software for that lettering.
Yes, we did.
And then that
went in-
is it looks like a buttonhole, but it's actually, you couldn't make a buttonhole
That
the
big.
size that we needed. So we created one in IQ, and we'll
Yes.
show you how to do that. And then go ahead and turn it around. And down here at the bottom, she put a zipper in so that whenever the letters go in, then you can
Santa can open it up and get the letters.
get the letters out.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I just thought this is just a fun, unique way for us to take something that maybe we never even considered using it in this way and make something new and different with it. So today's episode is going to be about how to do that applique in IQ Designer, and then next week's episode we're going to talk about all the other elements that went into making this item. Okay? Awesome. Alrighty. So let's come over here to, whoops, there's a
Oops.
table back there. We're on the Solaris Vision, And go ahead and wake her up. There we go. We're in IQ Designer already.
Yes.
So the first thing you want to do, show that picture that you have
Okay,
there.
the first thing you want to do is find some kind of image that you can use. And you want a simple image. You don't want an image that has a lot of line and detail in it, something very simple. So I just went in on Google, looked for a simple Santa line design. And this is what I found that I
And
wanted.
I think I found more luck when I say the words like Santa line art.
Yes,
Or
yes.
whatever it is I'm
Uh-huh.
looking for. If I
Right.
put the words line art in
Yes.
it, then you'll find what you're looking for.
Yes. So I found this. It was what I wanted. I sized it to the size I wanted on just a copy machine. And I did go over with a little darker liner.
Like a Sharpie.
Yeah, like a Sharpie.
Okay.
And then I scanned it in like you would do.
So using the scanning tablet.
Using our scanning tablet, I scanned it in.
Okay. And we're going to skip all that part because we want you to see basically how to create the application.
And this is, after I scanned it in, what I ended up with.
Okay.
Okay.
So we've got Santa Claus up there. That was the scanned in item.
So this is my scanned in item. And when I create my applique, I have to do it piece by piece. And I have to look at it in layers.
Okay.
So
When you say piece by piece, can you like point to the screen and show
Yes.
me like
I have a beard.
a beard?
I have a mustache, I have a nose, I have a face, eyes, I have this part of his hat, this part, and then the little ball. So those are all the pieces that I have.
And since those are all separate fabric pieces,
Yes.
you needed to create each separate
That's correct.
applique portion.
That's correct.
Okay.
So what I have to do is I have to pull each one of those pieces off and create a piece of applique for each one of those.
Right, but the important thing that I wanted to mention here is that we need to keep the master, which is the entire outline, so that whenever, like if we were starting with one section, then we go back to the master to go get the next section.
That's correct. So the
Right. So
first-
you don't have to keep scanning it in.
That's right. So
Okay.
the first thing you do is once you scan it in, you want to save it. So you have that one that you can always go back to.
Right, otherwise you're gonna have to scan it 42 times.
That's right.
Well, maybe not that many, but
Yeah, you got it.
once was enough, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
So just to show you on how you would pull each piece off, I'm going to do the beard first.
Okay, let's show
So
this.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to isolate the beard, and the way that I did this is I'm going to go and I'm going to use my select button, and I'm going to use this right here, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to take, oh, not quite what I wanted, a little bit more.
You didn't get that top
I
corner,
didn't get
right?
that top corner.
Okay.
And I'm going to select that right there. And actually, you know what? I did that backwards. I'm going to select what I don't want and get rid of it. So let me do that again. I'm going to select what I don't want.
So that you're going to get selecting the part we're going to
That's right.
erase out.
So I'm going to select all that, and I'm going to cut all of that off.
Oh, well, that made it fast
Okay.
instead of having to erase.
All of it. So now I just have to erase what I don't want. And what I don't want is just this right here. Now I'm going to take my eraser, and I'm going to take this, and I'm also going to pull it up
Oops, I'm sorry. I was moving.
so I can kind of see what I'm going to do. And I've selected my eraser, and I'm just going to come in here. I want that a little bit bigger, so I'm going to come here. I'm going to make him a little bit bigger.
I love that the Solaris has the ability to change the size of the
It's
eraser.
fantastic. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to erase all this that I don't want. I want to be careful because what I do want, I'm going to come up a little bit more because if I come up, I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to keep, I want a full line of that beard. So I'm just going to
So
erase.
if we have that hole right there, is that a problem?
Well, it could be, but it's not going to be because you know what? I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at it after I get everything off, and I'm going to make sure that I don't have any open lines, and if I do, then I'm going to fix them. Okay, so I'm going to bring that down a little bit, and I'm going to look at that. And you're right, that spot right here, I'm going to bring that back up, and I see that. So I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to.
And you can use your stylus.
You would want to use your stylus. I just don't have one.
Oh, can you reach it?
I do have one right here. I would take the stylus, and I am going to close that up right here.
And remember, we are zoomed in 800%.
Yeah.
So even though that looks kind of like a
No
Uh-oh.
can do on that. Let's bring that down just a tad. I got a little zealous there making that line, so I kind of going to clear it up
All right.
there. So let me bring that back down. So I'm going to bring that back down to 100%. So you can see now, so that is my beard piece.
Okay.
And every piece, I'm going to do that same way until I have created each piece.
Okay, but right now, tell me what the next steps are with this piece.
With this piece. So I'm going to need, I need a placement, a tack down, right? So I'm going to need, just like when you applique, you need 3 pieces. A
Right.
placement, a tack down, and then
The
your finishing stitch. But
Whichever
with,
one
that's
you
right.
want to use.
But also with the beard, because I used that little swirly, I'm
Oh.
going to put a fill in there
Okay,
too. So,
okay.
so what I need is I need to put, I'm going to create a, I'm going to go in here on my first piece and I'm going to change my stitch. I'm going to change this to just
a running
a running
stitch.
stitch first.
Because this is just showing us where to lay the fabric down.
You got it. So I'm going to make that here. I'm going to put this in, I'm going to hit next. And I'm going to go ahead and set this in my embroidery, okay? So it's there when I get ready to build.
You don't need to save it in memory.
Oh, I am going to save in memory, always save in memory. I always tell you guys save in memory first in the event you ever need to go back and change anything. So I am going to save it in memory, my IQ first, and then I'm going to set it in my embroidery. I'm going to put it in memory in my embroidery.
Because we're not ready to stitch yet.
I'm not going to stitch it, and so now I'm done with that, okay? I'm going to come back to my IQ. I'm going to go back. I'm going to pull that last piece I just worked on, okay? So now I have a placement stitch,
Yes.
and then I'll lay my fabric down, and then I'm going to tack it down with that same stitch, right?
So we don't need it to be anything fancy at that point.
Doesn't need to be anything
So
fancy at that
you'll just
point.
repeat that one twice.
I'll repeat that one twice,
Okay.
and then the next thing I'm going to do is I need to put a fill stitch on it.
Okay, go
Because
ahead
I'm
and do
going to
that.
fill it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to my fill, and I am going to,
I think you did the little bubbly.
I did the
things.
little bubbly, so I'm going to come here, I'm going to select here, and I did, let me find it, I did this one right here.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I filled his little,
Okay.
but also what I did, because I don't want it to do another outline stitch, I just wanted to do the fill. I'm going to come up here to the outline, and I'm going to tell it, don't sew the outline
So
on
no
this.
sew the
I want
outline.
no sew on this particular stitch. I just want you to do the fill.
That is important to know.
It is
Okay.
important. So I'm going to hit next. And I'm going to change, I want this smaller.
Okay.
So I went down to about 50% on that because I want it to be a little bit smaller curlies.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell it okay. So I'm going to set that in memory, in IQ. I'm going to set that in my embroidery. And I'm going to put it in my embroidery memory.
Because we're still not ready to sew.
I'm not ready to sew.
And then we're going to go back to IQ.
I'm going to go back to IQ,
There's a lot of back and forth.
back and forth, and then I'm going to come back here. I'm going to bring this one back out because that is the outline, and I'm going to put my finishing stitch on it. I'm
Okay.
going to put the outline.
And is it a satin stitch?
It is a satin
Okay.
stitch. So now I'm going to take that same outline. I am going to put actually my first outline, it still has a satin stitch on it, okay? So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to hit next. And I'm going to take this right here
Okay, it
because...
says it's a running stitch up
Oh,
there.
okay. Well, then you know what I'm going to do? All I'm going to do is tap that right there, and I'm going to change it to a satin stitch. I'm going to tell it okay. Now it's a satin stitch.
Okay.
I'm going to tap this. I'm going to change that to a 180 because a point,
Point eight's a pretty narrow satin stitch.
it's narrow. It's too
It
narrow.
almost doesn't catch the edge of the fabric.
It doesn't. So this is a really nice, thicker, wider.
And we learned that from playing with it.
We learned that because the first time I did it, it was really narrow and it wasn't pretty like
Okay.
it should be. So now I've done that.
And
I'm going to
then
put it in memory in my IQ,
Yep.
and I'm going to set it, and I'm going to tell it okay.
And save it again.
I'm going to save it in my memory for my machine.
But we're still not ready to stitch.
Not ready to stitch. So now
Okay, so go back to IQ again.
You want me to go back to IQ? Okay.
Because then the next thing you would do is bring up the whole Santa,
Next thing I would do is I'm going to go back. I'm going to pull up my Santa again.
and you would isolate the next section, which
I would
have
isolate
been
my
like
next section.
mustache, then the nose, all
yeah.
of those things. All right, so go ahead and get yourself out of that.
Okay. Do you want me to go back to like now how I would build it?
Yes, so
If I were-
now, just trust us. She has gone through and isolated and created the placement, the tack down, and whatever the finishing part of the stitch is for each chunk of the Santa. Then you're gonna go back over here to embroidery where they're all saved, and you're gonna start building your snowman. So it's like, hey, do you wanna build a snowman? But we're building a Santa.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and start showing us how to
Okay.
build this.
So I'm going to go to my memory because that's where I've done everything. But what I have to think about is
So get the Santa out again. The,
I have to look at him and I have to think
Sorry, we're making you dizzy.
the dimensions of him. What would I stitch first?
So you wouldn't do the beard first?
I did the face first.
Okay, and then what?
I did his face, then I did his beard, then I did his mustache and his nose, then the hat, then the brim,
So the red part of the hat.
the red
and
part
then
of
the
the
gold
hat,
brim.
the gold brim,
And then the
and then
gold. You're on the
and
wrong side of it.
Am I? Okay. Oh,
It's
and then
okay.
this,
I knew
yes.
what you were talking
okay.
about.
Yeah. So I did. When I look at it, I see the face, and then I see the beard. This goes about
On top of the
on
beard.
top of those, and then his nose, his eyes. I see the hat, and then this,
Right.
and then here.
Okay, and so the thing is, let's go ahead and go back over here, and I want
Okay.
you to show how to build this. And I want you to purposely put a couple of them in the wrong order.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Because there's something special about this machine that not every machine has.
That's
So
correct. That's right.
Start building.
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build his face. So this is his face.
You can tell we played with this a lot.
And I'm going to set that. So on his face, I need two. I need a placement, and then I just need a tack down.
So can you just do a copy paste?
That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to edit, and I am just going to copy it. And you notice how it doesn't
It
set right on
offsets,
top of it. So I'm just going to go to move, and I'm going to center that. Whoa, what in that center? Okay, let me back up here. I'm going to move it on top. That's
You didn't put the first one in the center.
probably did not, but you know what? That's why we have this right here. We can take it and we can move it right on top of it. That must have been what I did. You see, it's been a while, and my memory, I'm getting old, I can't
You
remember
can also
everything.
use your arrows, right?
Oh, absolutely, you can use your arrows. Absolutely use your arrows. There you go.
Okay, so we have the placement stitch and the tack down stitch, and then the next one would
And
be
on the face, that's all you need.
because it's covered up by all the other pieces.
That's right.
Okay, so then the next item you would need was the beard.
Uh-huh.
So
So
we're
now,
going to add.
I'm going to add and go here. And as long as you haven't moved anything, it should place them in the exact same spot. So I'm not
You are
quite.
correct.
So now on the beard, so I'm going to go up to actually the ones I did earlier because they should all place in the same spot. So if I go to the beard, this would be my beard. So if I add that, I'm going to set that. So this would be the
Placement.
The placement.
And then we need to copy
And
paste.
if I copy, it'll kind of offset it, so it's almost going to be better if I hit
Just
add,
and
because
add
it'll
again.
add it right on top
That makes
of it.
so much sense. And then you're not having to move it. all
That's
that
right.
little
So
fine-tuning
then if I
moving.
come back down and I add the exact same one I added earlier,
Down there at the bottom.
right here, it'll add it right on top of it.
So
So
now we got
now
those two.
I have my placement and my tack down, and now I will want to add my my fill.
Oh, right.
Because that's going to be the next
I
thing.
forgot
So I'm
about
going to add, go to my pocket. I'm going to add my, you guys can tell we've been on here doing a lot on this.
It's at the top.
Right here, it's my fill. And I'm going to set that.
And then you'll need your satin stitch.
You would need your satin stitch, but I'm not ready to do, if I'm not ready to do my satin stitch on that yet. Because I well, I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. We're going to add the satin stitch. Now, I would add his
Mustache.
mustache, so I'm gonna add,
So I'm gonna pause for a minute and let you keep building.
okay?
Okay. Okay, Dee, so I have come back and given you a chance to actually build the whole thing.
Yep.
So I see it's all there, and how can we make sure it's on there in the right order?
Well, I do see a mistake.
Okay, can you point it out for
I
me?
can't. If you will look at the nose right here, do you notice how the mustache comes up into the nose rather than the nose
Oh,
laying
yeah.
over it?
So
That doesn't look very
He
good,
needs
does
to
it?
trim his nose hair.
Definitely needs to trim his nose hairs.
Or we can fix it for him.
Yes, we can. So
Okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the order that it embroidery so that his nose.
And not every machine can do this.
No, it cannot.
So how do you do that?
Well, I'm going to hit this button right here and I'm going to change the order that everything embroidery's in. So I'm
Okay,
going to
so
touch
that's like all the
this.
different steps.
It's all the different steps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to change this nose to embroidery after the mustaches have done. So
Okay.
I'm going to come in here and I see my nose here. So I'm going to continue to move him down until he is after.
And you can see on the screen, it
Mm-hmm.
move him up for a second. So I want you to put your finger on where his nose is.
Right here.
Okay, now can you hit the up button?
Yes. Here.
No, no, no. Move the nose up a step. See how it changed it? Now move it back down. There. That's how you can tell on both places that it
Yes.
moved. Yeah.
Yep.
And so can you scroll all the way to the top step? So go to the top
Mm-hmm.
and you have, can you tell me the steps in order?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me get.
You got to hold
I know.
still.
I got to hold still. Let me get all the way back to the top. Get back to the top, and it's going to be the face. If I can get to the face, it's right here. That's the
Okay.
top.
So point to the steps on the
Okay.
side.
So it's going to do a placement, a tack down on the face,
Mm-hmm.
placement, tack down on the beard. Sorry. My clumsy fingers. Lots of steps here. Where am I at? Okay, so here I am. Okay,
And
so
then
so placement,
placement,
tack
tack
down,
down.
filler.
Mhm.
Then I'm going
Placement.
placement on my
Mustache.
mustache. I'm afraid to touch it now.
Go ahead, try it. It's okay. I get the idea. Go ahead
Yeah.
and say okay.
Okay.
They're all in there in order.
so we all
but you
have
can
them in
go
order.
through that and make sure it's in order because
Yes.
now really the only thing we have to do is hoop the garden flag.
Yep.
And what kind of stabilizer did you use?
I used an I
Can you open it up
yes
a
I
little
used
bit from the zipper?
I used an iron-on mesh. You know me, I like that iron-on
I
mesh.
do too. It's one of my favorites.
Yes,
Okay, so
I
yeah.
used an
Nothing
iron-on
major,
mesh,
but
just a
something to
cutaway
support
mesh.
that. Okay, and flip it back
Yeah.
over.
Because there's really not a heavy amount of stitching because it is an applique.
And then you just went through. Now, on this particular New It 2, we are not going to show you actually stitching it out. The whole point of this was we wanted to show you how to build this in IQ. And next week, we are going to be talking about point to your big pseudo buttonhole. Yep. That we had to create that in
Yes.
IQ.
Yes, we did.
And then we're going to show you how we did the letters to Santa.
Mm-hmm.
We used
I did it in Floriani.
in Floriani and flip it around on the back. We put a zipper in.
Yes.
And then on the side, we used a folded over piece of fabric.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
we
in order
used
to
we used the applaud to do the beautiful stitching on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we used the ruffling foot to do those beautiful pleated ruffles.
Yes.
And sandwiched that in there. And when you sewed it down, what machine did you use it on?
I used the chorus.
Okay, so I can't scoot back anymore. I am stuck on a power cord behind me. So this is the first installment of our Letters to Santa garden flag letter holder. So we'll come back next week with how to do the rest of it. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Was that not wonderful?
I know. I'm
So-
excited to see the rest of it next week.
Oh, I know it is. I love whenever we're kind of carrying things over. Sometimes we can't get all the information in there in
No.
one sitting. And so we showed you how to do the whole applique part this time, and next week it's going to be all the other fun stuff that you
Okay.
have to do to finish that project. So remember, Christmas catalog is here,
Yes.
and Black Friday is this week.
Okay.
Our doors open at 8 o'clock on Black Friday. We'll be here. There are so many great specials going on and doorbusters that
On
are only
Friday,
available on
that's
that day.
right.
Discounts that you cannot believe. So if you are ready to do some stocking stuffer shopping or find the perfect gift, 8 o'clock, Black Friday, we can't wait to see you. Now we have to have a giveaway.
Of course.
All right, so I hid it over here in the tree.
Oh.
All right, so being that we're talking about IQ and we're talking about applique, we decided that this week we wanted to give away the Enhancing Your IQ with Salima Jaffer, and it's the applique and beyond. And what's great about these little projects here is that it's teaching you how to do it, but you end up with all these projects that get completed in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a $61 value that one lucky person's going to get to go home free.
Yes.
Yes, so remember what you need to do.
Like,
share,
share,
or
or
comment. And one lucky person is going to be drawn. Now, typically we say that's on Thursday, but since that's Thanksgiving, why don't we extend it through Friday?
Okay.
Okay, so we'll extend this one through Friday, and one lucky person is going to get to go home with one. And if you haven't ever used any of these Enhancing Your IQ, there's a whole bunch of them. So this week's special is going to be that if you buy one, you get one half off.
Okay, very
So
good.
that's a really great way
and
to
there's
build
a
your
wide
library.
variety of projects.
And
in
it's
all
a
of
good
these.
way to really learn the
Absolutely,
program.
absolutely.
So buy one, get one half off through this week. And one lucky winner that does like, share, and
Or
comment.
comment,
Come to any one of our stores to do your Black Friday shopping and your Christmas shopping. We can't wait to see you. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bye.
Bye.